Welcome to this very special edition of the Ril Dil Podcast. I'm your host, Ril Gerald Quinn. Episode 1066, Expectations, Ego, and Age. We're not going to keep you long. Of course, the big news in the NBA world is LeBron James finally makes his decision. He is joining the Philadelphia 76ers. LeBron made the decision. This came back on Friday. This happened, of course, on Friday. And LeBron says it will be his final decision. 2 years, $8 million, basically the veterans minimum. He joins Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, BJ Eshkim, and just a absolutely loaded and stacked Philadelphia 76er team. I think the initial, I was a little bit surprised, not shocked, but a little bit surprised that it was Philadelphia. But, a couple of days later, when you realize what else was out there for him, this, to me, was the best fit and the best possible fit, and gives him, frankly, the best possible chance to win a championship. If he was willing to play for the veterans exception, veterans minimum, this to me had to be the place for him to go. Oklahoma City, San Antonio was not going to happen. He was not playing in Minnesota. And when you look at the other two major contenders, the other three contenders, Miami, Golden State, and Cleveland, I never thought did not want to play with James Harden. It's just that simple. He didn't want to play with James Harden. They didn't trade for Jaylen Brown. That hurt them. Look at Miami, a situation where it's kind of been there, done that. You've won 2 championships for them. You would be the leader on that team. You're not going to be the best player on that team. That's going to be Giannis' show, and that roster was limited, to say the least. That roster be on line. Besides, you have Giannis and Bam, and not much else with that roster. That roster is a year away. This is a situation where you have a roster that can win a championship in Philadelphia. You have a franchise in Philadelphia that hasn't won a championship since 1983. A basketball franchise that's starving for a championship. They just watched the Knicks break their 53-year drought. You have a franchise that has not had a leader since Allen Iverson. And even with Iverson, there were holes in his leadership. So, looking back at it, thinking about it a couple of days later, this was the best possible situation for LeBron to go to. Now, I want to deal with a couple of things. Number one, the questions on how they will fit and how does he fit with Philadelphia. Here's the bottom line. Everybody on this screen that you see is going to have to sacrifice, especially, I don't put VJ Eshkim aside. He's still a young player. He's still developing. He'll be fine playing any role that's given to him. I don't, not worried about him. But when you talk about Jaylen Brown, when you talk about Tyrese Maxey, and you talk about Joel Embiid, those are 3 guys who think they are number ones. Period. Joel Embiid is a former MVP. Jaylen Brown just, was traded from a situation where he wanted to be number one. And you had Tyrese Maxey, who was number one last year with the Philadelphia 76ers. And you have LeBron James coming into a situation where he's the only guy here, outside Jaylen Brown, but he has clearly the most experience, clearly the most accomplished of all these guys. And he's coming in with a number one mindset, I don't think LeBron's coming in thinking, hey, I'm going to take 20 shots a game or something like that. But he's coming in not thinking that he's going to sit up here and be a fourth or fifth option. All of these guys are going to have to sacrifice. I'm going to show you something real quick. Here is the usage of Maxey, Brown, Embiid, and LeBron James. So last year, Tyrese Maxey's usage 30.1, which was a career high. Jaylen Brown's usage, of course, most of the season was with no Jason Tatum, basically almost 37, a career high. You had Joel Embiid, who, despite the fact that you had the emergence of Maxey and you had VJ Eshkom coming in, still a 33.3 usage. And LeBron James, who at times with the Lakers was a third option, his usage was still 28.1, which was, if you look at it, was one of his lowest since going back almost since his rookie season. So all of these guys are going to have to make sacrifices. All of them. That's the thing. See, this is why I can't knock LeBron calling this a ring chase. It's not ring chasing. I'm telling you why it's not ring chasing. Yes, if everything goes right, can the Sixers win a championship? Sure. Would they be the favorites? Even if everything goes right, I still would favor San Antonio or Oklahoma City, even if everything goes right. But it's not a ring chase. It's not him. He's not chasing rings. I know this is a talented roster because there's so many other things that can go wrong, and that's what makes this situation so unique. And that's why I'm so fascinated by this decision and by him joining this team. Yeah, he's a natural at this stage of his career. He can play the 3, the 4, or the 5. He can fit right into being the 4. But himself, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, all those guys, those 3 guys need the ball in their hands. So from a chemistry standpoint, two of those dudes are going to have to play off the ball at times. Not one of them, 2 of them. 2 of them will have to play off the ball at some during the season. And, again, you have Jaylen Brown, you have Tyrese Maxey, who I know he has a relationship with Clutch, Rich Paul is his agent. That certainly had a factor, and that certainly helped in this process. That familiarity, the familiarity with the GM Gansey, from the Cleveland days. LeBron was recruited by Embiid and Maxey, and I get all of that stuff, but it is not easy playing with LeBron James, especially that first year. There's a reason why, when LeBron has joined a new team, it has normally taken that second year for the team to live up to its full potential and win a championship. Now, based on the age and health of LeBron and Joel Embiid, I don't think the Sixers have 2 years. I think if the Sixers are going to win a championship, it has to be this year. I don't think they have 2. I don't think they have 2 years. Even if LeBron, LeBron's going to be 42 this year. Joel Embiid, again, he may be, 32 in age, 33 in age. His knees are like 50. So this is it's going to be an interesting basketball experiment. I like on paper. I like what the Sixers have done. Even when they just got KCP, they got Anthony Simons. The bench is deeper than one may think. Like they can go legitimately 8 to 10 deep, and they're gonna have to. Because at times, LeBron's gonna miss games. We all know Joel Embiid is going to miss games. But this is not by any stretch of imagination. Hey, plug LeBron in here, and this is an automatic championship. This is not, Kevin Durant joining the 2016 Warriors, who was coming off a Game 7 loss and had won 73 games and already won a championship. This is not that. Not even close to being that. This could. Listen. The Sixers could win the championship. They could lose in the second round. I can see any one of those two scenarios. This thing could blow up easily, based off just injuries. I mean, just injuries alone. This thing could blow up. Again, if you're the Sixers, this was a absolute no-brainer. I mean, you get LeBron James for $4 million. He wants to be here. He's going to be highly motivated. He hasn't been really competing he hasn't been in the championship conversation really since 2021. So it's been like 5 or 6 years since he's even been in a championship conversation. The Lakers haven't sniffed contention since the bubble. So you're going to get a highly motivated LeBron. I don't think you'll be. I have to see the fit on the floor. I have to see how all those guys, especially those three, fit in with LeBron, Maxey, and Jaylen Brown on the court at the same time. Again, there's only one basketball. Even before this season started, even before this move was made, even before when Jaylen Brown was signed by the Sixers or was traded to the Sixers. I would have told you that Joel Embiid would have to sacrifice. He would have to be the one who made the biggest sacrifice. Like Joel Embiid shot selection, and I'll show you here. Joel Embiid, go to his basic stats. So Joel Embiid, the lowest amount of shots that he's taken in his career. 16.6, but he only played 19 games in 24-25, so I can even just wipe that out because he only played 19 games. But I mean, last year in only 38 games, 18.3 shots a game. It's been 21, almost 22, 20, 19. You see 17 here. So he's going to have to take a career low in shots. He's going to have to take similar to his rookie season, when he only played 31 games and took 13 shots a game. It's going to he's going to have to be at that around 10 to 12 shots a game realistically for this thing to work. But when you compare this to when LeBron has joined other teams, especially Miami and Cleveland, there was clearly one player, and even you go back to Boston. Let's say when really was kind of like the first super team in this era, it was clear that Ray Allen was going to be the one to sacrifice the most, right? LeBron going to Miami, it was clear that Chris Bosh would have to be the one that sacrificed the most. When LeBron came back to Cleveland, it was going to be Kevin Love. Love would not only have to be. Remember, Love in Minnesota was a 25 and 12, 20 and 10 guy almost every single year in his career in Minnesota. One of the best rebounders in the game, averaging well over 20 points a game. That wasn't going to be the case with Cleveland, and he had to become a stretch five in a sense and shoot and work on shoot 3-point shots. For the Sixers, it's going to have to be multiple guys. It's not just one guy. I would put Embiid at the top of the list in terms of who's going to have to sacrifice the most, but all of those guys, Embiid, Jaylen Brown, and Maxey, all of their usages are going to have to go down. All of their shot attempts are going to have to go down, are going to have to drop, period. I think LeBron's at a place in his career where he doesn't have to take more than 13, 14 shots. He's not, LeBron's not, he's not a guy who has to take a lot of shots to be effective with his passing. Also, still more an effective rebounder, but especially with his passing and playmaking. But those guys, like Jaylen Brown, last year led the league in 2-pointers made. Tyrese Maxey again. Tyrese Maxey is coming off the best year of his career. So that is not easy for guys who are in their prime to have to all of a sudden be relegated to like almost glorified role players. There are going to be times where those guys are going to have to be role players. Period, point blank. And again, not easy playing with LeBron James, adjusting to his style of play, to him having the ball. And LeBron's going to have to have the basketball. LeBron can play off the ball, and he'll do. I'm sure he'll play. Some of the last, I would say, the last part of the season kind of prepared him for this as far as playing off the ball. He had to when playing with Luka and Austin Reeves, like the last half of the season, last 20 games or so, when they all were healthy. Before before Reeves and Luka got hurt. So he had to play. There was a period of the season where with the Lakers at the end of last season where he had to play off the ball, and had to play off the ball, and could not dominate the basketball when he was legitimately a third option. So that will bode well for him coming into this new situation. Again, they are to me the most talented team in the Eastern Conference. They have a huge upside if everything does go right. Obviously, they're going to be able to score. To me, they're going to be able to score with anybody. They're going to be absolutely able to score with anybody. I do have questions about them defensively. Embiid is not what he once was defensively. LeBron, of course, you can't ask him to do a lot defensively now at this stage in his career. He's kind of like a designated hitter at this stage in his career. I mean, he's 41 years old, will be 42 during the season. So that their defense could, that could be a weak link, but that could be certainly something to keep your eye on, especially the back line of that defense, for sure. But again, this is a move that they absolutely. This move was absolutely a no-brainer for the Sixers. They are going to be the hottest ticket in the NBA. They're going to be must-see. They will. I promise you right now, they will have for sure when the NBA schedule comes out in a couple of weeks, and it shouldn't be long now, as Adam Silver and the rest of the NBA was kind of waiting on LeBron to make his decision. But then when that schedule comes out, I promise you, the Philadelphia 76ers will lead the NBA in nationally televised appearances. They will be must-see TV for sure. I think I still would favor the Knicks continuity. I have to see, with these super teams. Again, there's a lot of there's only one basketball. There's only one basketball, and like I said, they have these are next level expectations for the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers have not had these type of expectations since 2001. What LeBron does bring is a level of leadership and maturity into that locker room, a level of leadership that they just have not had. They didn't have it with Joel Embiid. Didn't have it certainly with Ben Simmons or Doc Rivers or some of the coaches, and some of these teams that they've had in the past. And they've had some talented teams. Particularly that 2019 team was extremely talented when you look back on it with Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, J.J. Redick, Tobias Harris. So they've always had talent. You've seen James Harden come in. You've seen Paul George. They've never lacked for talent over the course of this decade. But this is bringing LeBron and bringing Jaylen Brown in as well, despite what Jason Tatum said at his basketball camp this weekend about leadership. We can get to that in another day. But Jaylen Brown is a champion. He's a guy who's been to the playoffs every year of his career, won a bunch of games. So you add those two guys, not just strictly for their talent, but for their leadership and professionalism and just showing up every day. That will make a difference in that locker room per se. So that's certainly one thing. You add that championship DNA to a team that, again, has not been past the second round since 2001. All right, they have not been past the second round. Now, it will be 25 years. 25 years and counting. They have not been past the second round since that finals run with Allen Iverson and Dikembe Mutombo and company. So, this is a new day for the Sixers. They have some, real life expectations. The bullseye will be on them every night, despite the fact that they are not the defending champs. Teams will play them like the defending champs, and it's finals or bust. I can't. If they lose to Oklahoma City or they lose to San Antonio in the NBA in a tough NBA final series, I don't think you can. I don't think you can crush them for losing to those two juggernauts. But if you don't get to the NBA Finals, the season's a failure. And again, this Eastern Conference is not, this is the toughest this is the best the Eastern Conference has looked in years. This is the best I've seen the Eastern Conference look. And going back, you have to go back to the 90s. Like literally the 90s before when Jordan was playing. To see the last time that the Eastern Conference that was better than the Western Conference. Right now, top to bottom, the Eastern Conference is better than the Western Conference. You have two juggernauts up top at the Western Conference. Then after that, it's like you got a couple good teams. A good team with Minnesota, a solid team with Houston. And then after that is a bunch of question marks in the Western Conference. Eastern Conference has 11 solid teams. They have 11 teams that are playoff caliber teams. They have a bunch of teams that are improving. So the East is not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. And when you look at the teams that missed out on LeBron, they clearly didn't do their homework as far as LeBron, when he has left the team, he goes to Miami, and he only goes to Miami. Miami already had Dwayne Wade. He brings Chris Bosh there. Super team immediately. They are a super team. When he leaves Miami and goes back to Cleveland, he only goes back to Cleveland. Obviously, that was a legacy play, but he went back. Cleveland had to. They already had Kyrie Irving, who we knew was a talented player, but they had to go out and get Kevin Love in order to make that happen. He went back to the Lakers, was there 1 year, had a frustrating first year, and immediately he had we got in order for this to work out, gotta go get Anthony Davis. So the idea that Cleveland and Golden State were just going to thought that they were going to get LeBron standing pat, that shit was not going to happen. I never thought that LeBron was going to play with James Harden. I did not see the James Harden, LeBron James, Donovan Mitchell fit. That would have been a horrible fit. That just would not have worked at all. And LeBron knows that this would not that situation would not have worked. So, LeBron was not going to a place where he didn't think he couldn't win a championship. One Golden State to go out there and get Anthony Davis, that was a real thing. They were not able to do that. They were not able to do that. I mean, Golden State. I don't know what Golden State is doing right now, but they had the draft capital to go out and get Jaylen Brown as well. both Cleveland and Golden State kind of dropped the ball on Jaylen Brown, considering what the Sixers got for him, or what the Sixers had to give away for him, had to give away to get him. When you think about it, and that's the only reason why this move happens. This move happened. LeBron James going to the Sixers was a byproduct of them getting Jaylen Brown. No Jaylen Brown, no LeBron James. And that's why if you're Boston, you don't trade them inside your own division. Like they set the Celtics set this up. The Celtics are almost solely responsible for Jaylen Brown and LeBron James being on the Sixers. So it should be just a fascinating situation in the Eastern Conference. Listen, LeBron, he understands what legacy is about. You bring a championship to Philadelphia, you win your fourth championship, your fifth championship, you win, become the first player to win championship with 4 different franchises. Like all this stuff, he understands what he's doing from that standpoint. Again, this is not you can't call him, you can't say he's ring chasing when you join a team and that team is not the best team in the league. Like if you join San Antonio or Oklahoma City, that's ring chasing. You join 2 teams that are clearly the 2 best teams in the NBA. I'm surprised, and these reports came out. Well, I'm not surprised, but you could call it, if he would have joined the Knicks somehow, that would have been ring chasing. And apparently, there are some reports that came out that the Knicks were his first choice, and the Knicks kind of Jalen Brunson and them basically were not recruiting him, and didn't want him on the team. I mean, it's just that simple. So that would have been ring chasing to me. You join a team that just won a championship. So in essence, they would replace Mitchell Robinson with LeBron James. This is not ring chasing because the Sixers haven't won anything since 1983. They haven't been past the second round in 25 years. And again, this could go wrong. There's many ways it could go right, and there's a number of ways it can also go wrong. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Ril Dil Podcast. I will see you next time. So long.